You are now listening to a proud member of the Disney Podcast family. Go to DizPodcastFamily.com to find more on this show and other great Disney podcasts.
All personnel, clear the launch platform.
The Leaving Today podcast, the show about the news, history, and attractions of the Disneyland Resort.
Well, come on, Wendy. Let's go.
But where are we going?
To Neverland.
Neverland.
Well, hello. Welcome to the Leaving Today podcast, episode number 136, if you can believe it. I always say the same thing, but I cannot believe it. I mean, seriously, here we are, 136 shows later. Wow, that is crazy, right? Nope, it is not.
Nope, not for me.
Well, my name is Mark, one of the co-hosts here. Sitting to the right of me is the Trail Master Puppet himself, Udi.
Good evening and cheers.
And cheers. Jess, of course, is not here tonight. And actually, not of course, but she was supposed to be here tonight, but she's working again. I don't blame her. But, you know, we talked a little bit last night, and she definitely wants to be here. Again, I know it sounds like we're making this up, but it's not. This is the way life is right now.
Yep.
She's just able to get more hours at work, and she needs the more hours, and that's what's going on.
That is what happens. We're not. We believe in hard work and earning your way.
Yeah.
If you put your hand out and say, "Give me," I usually slap it away and say, "Go get it yourself."
Go get it
That's
yourself.
Kind of me. I do. I think I have a hoodie. What does it have on there? It has a skull. Has a couple wrenches. American flag.
Oh.
And it says, "Nobody cares. Work harder."
Oh, yeah, nobody cares. Work harder. Yeah.
So I believe in that.
I believe in that, too, clearly. So, hey, welcome to the show. If this is your first... Hi. If this is your first time, welcome. The water is very warm here. We are an honest Disneyland podcast. We give you honest reviews, feedback, ideas, thoughts, and you can go and you can take with them whatever you want. Mm-hmm. If you are a returning listener, welcome home. We're very glad you're here. If you'd like to support the show, because tonight's show is brought to you by you guys, you can join us on our Patreon team. Go to leavingtodaypodcast.com, click on the Patreon logo, and it's all in there. We make it super easy: $1, $3, and $5. And for that, you get to be on the show and you get some cool swag. Speaking of swag, you can also buy your own Leaving Today podcast T-shirt. I'm wearing one tonight. I'm wearing the Space Mountain version. I don't usually wear it, but for some reason I am wearing it tonight. Anyways, these are on tpublic.com, or go to our site. It's all there. Or if you'd rather go on Instagram, go to our cool Linktree thing. Everything's on there. Yeah, so tonight we'll be having the news, and we'll also be talking about the Jungle Cruise, a little bit of the history of the Jungle Cruise, and hopefully bring us up right into, as we speak, there's a soft opening going on right now, and an official opening is when the 16th. Is that Friday?
Yeah.
Wow. What is today, the 12th? Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay, 12th. Yep, 12th. Yep, this Friday is the official soft opening. So by the time the show makes it to you guys, it'll have been open like 3 days. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So, let me see. Yes?
I have an opening question for you.
Oh, Udi has an opening question. This is a rarity.
So, how... Oh, wait. Ooh, maybe I need to ask this one first.
Yeah.
Did you end up seeing the 4th of July fireworks?
I did see the 4th of July fireworks.
How happy were you to see that? I know you and I both are not big firework. That is Jess's realm.
Yeah.
That is her
Yeah,
wheelhouse.
yeah,
And
yeah.
we kind of go like, okay, yeah, cool. But how happy were you to actually watch that? And then not only that, watch both shows that they had, but the people.
Okay, so I don't know about seeing the people because the perspective I had was on Main Street USA facing forward.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't see the one you sent me a link to. I couldn't find another one, but I did find
okay.
a different
Another
one.
one? Okay.
So the one I saw, the first half was the usual Disneyland stuff, with some of the music and going on, and then it switched to the patriotic version.
Yep.
And so, but I'm guessing the patriotic version is what you're talking about.
Well, either one.
Well, first off, it was great to see fireworks back. It's normal, and that's what I mean. I know exactly what it feels like to be in that pit of people, surrounded by people just going, oh my gosh.
Yep.
I mean, sometimes I'm trying to get through there, but other times I'm sitting there or standing there. But to see, I guess it, not I guess, I mean, it absolutely hit me hard that, we're celebrating America here. And, and I've said it before, we said it before years ago, that if you love Disneyland, you love America. It's they're tied together, and you can't have one without the other.
No,
really.
not really.
That's what it's based on, and they paid homage to it, and I thought it was great. And they should do that more often, not just on 4th of July.
I agree. And if anybody wants to venture the discussion about Disneyland and United States not being tied,
Oh, yeah.
I'm right here for you.
Oh, it's not even our opinion; it's fact.
That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
If you want to have that discussion with me,
Yeah.
you know how to get a hold of me.
Yes.
But yeah, no, you are absolutely correct. The video I saw had a full packed Main Street.
Yep. I saw that.
And that, to me, made me incredibly happy. For however long we've been going through this nightmare, the one thing that we have always, one of our main gripes has been that with Disneyland is that this is where you go to be with people. And it doesn't matter where you're from, what you look like, what you believe in. You're there to have fun and enjoy the park. Forget about the day-to-day. Forget about maybe you had a crappy day the day before or a few weeks or whatever. And you go to that park, and even though it's crowded, and we can gripe about being crowded, but at the end of the day, the people and the vibe is amazing.
It is.
A lot of people will argue back and forth and go like, hey, vibe, unity, all these kind of things, some people don't believe in that. And I'm like, if you don't believe in being around equal and like-minded people and be able to feed off that energy, you might be dead inside.
You might be.
But that being said, seeing that mass of humanity cheering and just having fun. And then to have the 4th of July, show pop up. And they did what I was hoping they would do. They painted Main Street in red, white, and blue. Stars and stripes all the way. And watching that display, and then again watching people cheering and having fun and celebrating this country, made me it made me emotional a little bit. And I was extremely glad to see it.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad to do it. And you're absolutely correct. I think, maybe during the month of July, on the weekend, they should do that. They should do that display.
Sure.
I don't know. But yeah, for anybody who hasn't seen that or didn't watch it, It's on YouTube. You can go find it. But it was amazing. It was great to see.
Yep. Hopefully they'll bring it back. We'll see. But yeah, I'm very glad that they did that. Okay. All right.
Okay.
You want to jump into the news?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to the news.
You listen to me now. You are talking about things that you do not understand.
Okay, there's a lot of news going on right now, which is good. There was a period of time where there was nothing going on, but now every week, every couple of days, there's something going on. So let's try to catch you up on that. Again, the LTP. If this is your first time listening, we're never going to be the news breakers, but we will be the news reviewers and our opinions. All right. So first look at the Haunted Mansion Holiday 20th Anniversary Gingerbread House for merchandise for Disneyland. First off, has it been 20 years since this thing started?
Wow.
2001? Oh, my gosh. I remember when they announced this, and, of course, this was long before the LTP, but I was like, oh, why are they doing this to the Haunted Mansion? What? Now it's become a mainstay. People expect it. People lose their minds if they don't have it, and I don't blame them.
Yeah. I mean, if I don't get it, I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's great. I remember a few years ago, Danny Elfman sang out in front of the Haunted Mansion, and I only wish I was there that night because not only do I love the music to this movie, but I love Oingo Boingo.
Yeah, if you guys don't know about Danny Elfman,
yes.
Let me recommend a quick podcast because you guys are podcast listeners. It would be the Soundtrack Show. It is, he goes into Nightmare on Elm Street and he goes into Oingo Boingo and Danny Elfman. The Knights of the Oingo Boingo, and they go into deep history of it.
Yes.
So if you guys don't know, go there and you may get a new appreciation for that whole Danny Elfman and everything he's done.
Yeah, it's funny. We're going to give a little tangent. We haven't actually got to the story yet, but there's a couple bands that if they ever reunited, I would pay a lot of money to see them. And Oingo Boingo is one of them. So maybe someday they will. Okay, enough about that. All right, so there's new artwork that came out that celebrates the 20 years of the Gingerbread House, and the artwork has 20 art elements in it that kind of represent what each year was. I'm not going to get into the details of all that stuff. You guys can look it up. I imagine there will be merchandise for that particular image. And there is a whole group of people that love this stuff. Haunted Mansion, holiday makeover merchandise. And out of any of the attractions at Disneyland, the Haunted Mansion seems to have the most merchandise, which is great. I don't collect it, but I think it's great that people are passionate about it. So who did it say? Tom Wollweber, Associate Art Director for Disney Parks, designed this year's house, which pays homage to all the previous houses. He told Disney Parks blog, "We went back to the graveyard to dig up all of our ideas the past 19 years. This year's Franken house stitches together favorite elements from the previous 19 houses. There will also be commemorative merchandise for the overlays anniversary. A canteen by Corksicle, pins, and a T-shirt will be available starting September 27th at Disneyland Resort." So, yes, it's pictures of, looks like pins that says 20 years anniversary, and then a T-shirt with the same logo on there. Yeah, have at it, you Disneyland, you Haunted Mansion fiends. 13 will probably dig this. Jess would probably dig the pin. I don't think that shirt's very appealing, but that's just me.
I agree.
Anyway. All right, next item. This will make Jess happy. Coca-Cola Refreshment Corner and my daughter reopens on Main Street, USA at Disneyland Park. Disneyland reopened back in April, but it has taken some time for every attraction and dining location to return. Today, the Coca-Cola Refreshment Corner has returned to Main Street, USA, inside Disneyland Park. The menu features hot dogs, chili dogs, macaroni and cheese, pretzels, and more. This is where Jess gets her cherry Coke, I believe, and a pretzel. I don't know what she gets.
Cream cheese.
Oh, cream cheese pretzel.
Yep.
Okay. she gets that there. And again, I thought this was already open, but you've seen this 100 times if you've been on Main Street.
Yep.
Anyways, great. I'm glad this is back. Okay, the next news item is the updated Jungle Cruise with an all-new scene soft opens at Disneyland. So this was one of the worst kept secrets lately.
Ever.
It's supposed to open on July 16th, but it had a soft opening last Friday, and it's been rolling through as we speak.
Yep.
And I think it's wonderful that they're doing this
Yep.
because not everything's done. Imagineers will still be doing some work up until, I guess, Friday or Thursday night, but it allows guests to experience it. And I think, and I think it's great.
Yeah, we'll talk about it a little bit more in our future, but I'm glad that they're doing that. I'm glad that they are. It looks like they're approaching the update with the care that they need to.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm glad they're doing that. I'm glad they're going to have people, or they're having people on there. Average old park goer on there, and probably asking a lot of questions. So I'm always like, ask questions, ask. If you have a entity or whatever moving and doing things and not asking questions, it gives me the heebie-jeebies. So, made me happy to see that, for sure.
Yep, me too. And I'd be doing that. I'd be asking questions.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, what's this? What's that?
Yep.
And, okay. Next item, and I don't know why I'm not a member of this. We talked about this a while ago.
We haven't. I don't know either.
There was that buy one, get one free thing
Yeah,
that we didn't
never do that.
Maybe sometime I will. But D23 is offering, for gold member preview, the Jungle Cruise at Disneyland Park next week. I did not know how much this cost, but I know it's sold out. D23 Gold members are in for an incredible sunrise adventure, as they will be among the first to experience the new enhancements to the world-famous Jungle Cruise at Disneyland Park. This late-breaking opportunity is very limited capacity for D23 Gold members, but be sure to keep an eye out on D23.com in the days that follow for a special virtual edition. Oh, cool. So we get to see that, although I'm not a membership. Anyway, let's see. This early morning begins as D23 Gold members enter the gates of Disneyland Park before the park opens to the general public. Upon arrival, you will be outfitted with your own skipper hat and VIP credential as you begin our Adventureland expedition at the Tropical Hideaway. With the wilds of the jungle as your backdrop, you'll enjoy some morning delicacies such as Loco Moco Bao, sweet lumpia, coffee, bottled juices, and water, and of course, it's never too early for a Dole Whip. Then our Master of Ceremonies, D23 team member and former Jungle Cruise skipper Justin Arthur will get things going with a special panel of creative talent from Walt Disney Imagineering as they take us on a deep dive into the history and reimagining of the beloved attraction. From its origins back to Walt Disney and opening day to its long legacy of skippers, global adventures, and the latest sights on the legendary riverbanks. We will celebrate it all just in time for the attraction's 66th anniversary. Then the jungle awaits. Making your way through the boathouse, you'll board your Explorer launch as your skipper, armed with the latest puns, will take you down the rivers of adventure to be among the first official reopening day to see all the new sights to be discovered. In addition to a skipper hat and credentials, guests will be treated to a few other commemorative surprises.
Wow.
The details are scarce, but the event begins promptly at 5:30 in the morning at the main entrance of Disneyland and will last until approximately 7:30. Check-in will begin at 5:15. Due to the nature of the experience, please arrive no later than 5:30.
Wow.
Yes, this is one of the few things that I would have done.
Yep. I would have been like, we're driving. When we get in there, let's go.
Would this have done this for you?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
What other attraction would you have done this to?
Indy.
Yes.
Rise.
Oh, Rise would have been good.
Space. And that would be it.
Oh, okay. I'd add Matterhorn to that mix.
Well, I know
me.
you would, but...
Or I could say even Big
Snow
Thunder.
White.
Big Thunder might have been interesting.
depending on what they did with Big Thunder, that was on the back. I'm like, ooh, that is like right there on the list, not quite on the list. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad they do stuff like this.
Oh, yeah.
It gives me hope that they're gonna do this. Okay. Next item, Disney Premier Access paid service replacing FastPass at Walt Disney World and Disneyland Resort soon. This morning, it was confirmed that Disneyland Paris would be retiring the free FastPass and replacing them with a Disney Premier Access, not to be confused with Disney Plus Premier Access. It seems likely that this service will also come to Walt Disney World and Disneyland Resort soon. Guests can choose to purchase Disney Premier Access via the Disneyland Paris app or at select locations inside the parks. They can then use the digital service to book an assigned time slot for some attractions and skip the standby queue. Prices vary from $9.46 to $17.74 per person per ride. There's a lot of P's in that, depending on the attraction and day of use. That seems crazy high to me.
Garbage. I mean, okay. Let me.
Ooh.
I'm gonna try to maintain, but the idea is dumb. Okay.
This is not new. This is not unique.
No. It
Universal
is not.
does this.
No, I know and how
Six Flags does it too.
Yeah, and how successful is that program, and how successful are those parks? Okay, these are the moments where I get mad at Disney because these are blatant cash grabs. Mm-hmm. Blatant. There's no way around it. If you think, no, it is a blatant cash grab. No way you cut that. And I will never.
No.
Ever, if they get rid of FastPass for this, okay, I'm positive that this is a test.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling it will fail.
Oh, this will fail epically.
Epic fail. I think people are going to be like, you want me to do what? To ride what? It's almost like going back to the ticket book. You got to pay that. And then, if you get an e-ticket, you can... No. They got rid of that for a reason. Mm-hmm. Why? Again, these are the moments I get mad at Disney. We know you're trying to make money. We all get it. Okay, we all know the game. You cater to us. We give you our money. We have a good time. That is the game. They can't. This is going to fail. And if they even think of trying to bring that into Walt Disney World, I will bet money that everybody's going to be going to give them no. No, we're already paying whatever the admission ticket is. But yeah, we talked about this with Daniel, that he was kind of talking about the model and how the money, and we had that kind of discussion with FastPass and they don't care. So, this leads credence to that point of view. But again, I think, like me being a capitalist that I am, unabashed, unapologetic capitalist, the market will decide. The market will, I will almost guarantee the market is going to be like, F you.
Sure they will.
No,
yeah.
we're not doing that.
No.
And we'll go back to the FastPass to, we're paying $20 for
the Max Pass.
For the Max Pass. And we'll go back to that. There is no reason to eliminate free Again, this is them testing to see what people will take. And I'm going to tell you this right now. If they try to bring it to Florida, they try to bring it to Disneyland here proper, it is going to fail abysmally.
Yeah, absolutely. Well.
So, yeah, this irritates me. So much good news, and then they drop this freaking dud, and you're like, bro,
seriously?
Yeah, seriously?
Yeah, but, to your point, you say what parks are, successful. I know that Six Flags has their Flash Pass, which allows people to just cut in line or whatever. I think Knott's Berry Farm has one, too. And
yeah, Universal does, too.
But Disneyland needs to be a little bit different than that. It's a completely different animal.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying that because I favor Disneyland. I'm just saying you guys don't need to do this crap.
Well, yeah, and these are the moments where I look at and I will throw it right at the feet of Bob Chapek, and I go, look, Bob, I get what you're doing. I know who you are. I know what you're about. I get what you're trying to do. I can't fault that. It is your job, but I can point at the fact that you cannot let Disneyland and the Disneyland parks and resorts fall into this mediocrity, like where you're not being held apart. Disneyland and all of the Disneyland resorts have always had that thing of it, you know. The Disneyland okay. So let me go into this real quick. How many times have you heard like, oh, it is like I'm gonna go over to I don't know a movie theater or a mall or whatever, another thing out inside of Disneyland, and they go, oh, this place is the Disneyland of da da da.
Yes.
So that already should tell you that you are a step above.
Yeah.
So why are you going to take a step back into mediocrity? Nothing annoys me more than when you have a person, an IP, a park, or anything that is above the others. There's nothing wrong with being ahead of everybody. That is what we should all be striving for, to be better. Why are you going to drop back into the mire, into the muck? Like, no, like, I don't care. Oh, you know, you're already going to offer, and you already do charge a premium to get into the park.
Yeah.
We get that. We gladly, for the most part, jump onto that and sign that agreement. We're like, okay, we're in. Because we know what we're going to get. But when they do this, they're like, no, you're trying to squeeze, you know, more. So is the juice worth the squeeze?
That's a very good question.
Yep.
That's a great way of putting it.
Yep. So to me, Disney you're going to, but you're going to find pretty quick, I think the market's going to give you a big FU.
Yeah, they won't pipe with that.
And they're going to be like, no. And if you try to push it, it's going to be bad for you. Like I said, as much as I love Disney, they've been screwing up a lot. This is yet another example. Like, stop it.
Yes.
Stop it. Go back to your roots, man. Go back to your roots. I will tell you right now. Let me be that little voice of reassurance right now. Walt Disney, everybody who's a board member and in charge of the company, go back to your roots. It will be okay.
It'll be okay. And I don't think there was really anything wrong with the amount of AP options they had prior to the COVID shutdown.
No.
And MaxPass was humming along. People seemed to make use of that as they wanted to.
And we did.
Yeah.
We loved it. I think our initial reviews were like, oh, my God, this is awesome.
Yep.
Like, worth the money I paid.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that was $20. Was it? And that was worth it. But I'm not going to pay $15-$20 per ride.
Yeah, no. They're out of their mind. Like, why don't you just go ahead and put a carnival bark on the end? Like, come on in, everybody. Like, ride the most. You know, like, come on.
Yeah.
Knock it off. Like, knock it off. Like, don't do that. I mean, again, anybody who's going to go to Paris, if you guys know and you're there, let us know. But I think this is garbage.
It's garbage.
Flat out garbage.
Garbage. Okay.
On the good news.
On the good news. Oogie Boogie Bash returning. More Halloween offerings announced for Disneyland Resort.
Sweet.
Oogie Boogie Bash will be returning to Disneyland Resort this year. In addition to the Halloween party, guests have, you know what this is about. And it was not here last year, which was, nothing was here last year. But it's coming back, and I'm so glad this is happening.
Yep.
Yes.
It is another step towards normalcy. You know what I can't wait for? I can't wait for the theme nights to come back. I can't wait. Oh my
gosh! Right?
I cannot wait for that to come back. Where Star Wars night or Thor night or Dapper Dan or
60s night,
60s night,
oh my
80s
God.
night. I cannot wait for those things because to me, when you have that, I'm like, okay, all these things are all signs of returning to normalcy. And when I see it, it makes me happy because I go, thank God. Like, I think like many of us, we all crave, like, we want back to what we had. We want back to having our freedoms and our joys and the things that we cope through, the crap that we have to deal with and everything like that. We all have our little niche. So when you do that, you bring back things, and that's what I keep on saying. Don't do this kind of extra crap. Don't try to charge more. Return to your roots at Disney, and you will have the people coming back.
Yeah.
You will have the people going, oh, my God, because they are hungry for the normalcy.
Yes.
They're hungry for feeling like, oh my God, we can put the Rona in our rear view. We can move forward, everybody, and we can get back to bickering about dumb things rather than wear a mask, don't wear a mask. You know,
Yes,
all the crap
absolutely.
that we've been battling. But anyway, there we go. Without going into tangent.
All right.
One more thing.
What's that?
I have one more thing.
Oh, Udi has one more thing.
I saw Black Widow.
Oh, Udi saw Black Widow. Yes.
Um,
First off, how was it to be back in the theater?
It was amazing.
Okay.
You know, for everybody who knows, I did a movie review podcast for a number of years.
Mm-hmm.
And it was weird because I think I've said it before, we would be in the theater almost every week, if not multiple times in the week. And to have that, you know, kind of ripped away was kind of, ooh, you know, what do you do? So I waited because the theaters in our area had been open for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
I know, talking to my brother, he had already been to a couple movies. He's taking his kids and da-da-da. And he's like, when are you going to go see that? And I'm like, I'm not. What about that? No, wait. You know, like, I forgot what movie he brought up. I'm like, nah. He's like, well, when are you going to go back? I'm like, Black Widow. He's like, why are you going to wait till July 9th to go back to the movie theater? It's been open for like a month and a half. I'm like, yeah, nothing is going to pull me in. And I kind of want to go back into feeling like, Marvel movie.
Oh, yeah.
Overall, and I'll be quick, you know, non-spoilery, the movie was fairly good.
Okay.
I know a lot of people in this day and age worry about messaging and all that kind of stuff, which I fall in that party. But overall, the movie was entertaining. That I really came away with the thing of like, this is, and I went with Joe and my buddy Jared, and my friend Phil, which oddly enough was the Batter crew. It was kind of a little bit of a reunion. If we would have had Chad there, it would have been like the original crew back.
And Chris.
And well, no. If you ever hear this, jump off a bridge. Anyway, but it was a good movie. I enjoyed the film, and it was good to be with my guys, with my boys,
With your squad.
yeah, with my squad, and the movie was good. It wasn't bad. It wasn't like overly, you know, woke or however you want to put it, or how people put it. It wasn't overly, you know, beating you over the head about, you know, man bad or anything like that.
If you knew nothing about the storyline, could you walk into this and enjoy it?
Yeah, but you would not enjoy it as much.
Okay.
So my main problem with it is the timing of the release. Even you eliminate the Rona year, it was already too late. This movie should have been released right after Civil War or in that timeline.
Okay.
If this movie had been released in that timeline, I will give a spoiler for Endgame, if you guys haven't seen it, where you been. But, you know, when she makes that ultimate sacrifice in Endgame, I think, you know, it was already tough for me to watch that scene. Black Widow, till this day, is my favorite character reveal in the MCU. My favorite.
Character reveal?
Reveal.
What does that mean?
When you know she's a Black Widow in the Avengers movies.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You know, for everybody who doesn't know, she's being quote-unquote interrogated. She's tied up in a chair, and they're beating her with like, oh, blah, blah, and then she gets a phone call, and then she goes like, yeah, no, he's about to give me everything, and totally turns the table. I love that scene. I can watch that over and over and over again. You know, Scarlett Johansson at her finest, because she's smart, intelligent, great acting, and she kicks ass. But anyway, so, her final sacrifice in Endgame would have, like, drove me like, oh, my God. Like, it was already difficult as hell for me to watch that scene. And I haven't watched it again. Like, I kind of scoped by it. There are a few things in my IPs that I kind of avoid. Another one would be Rebels, when Kanan when he dies. I'm like, I can't watch that.
Oh.
I watched it a few times, and every time I watch it, it hits me like a ton of bricks. I'm like, I can't. Her death scene in Endgame is one of those. I can't watch it. But anyway, that being said, if it would have been there, it would have been great. It would have been great if it would have been released 4.5 years ago. Like that, and that is what Joe said. Where he was like, man, 4.5 years too late. I'm like, agreed. But it is an enjoyable film. Overall, not anywhere near my top favorite of the MCU. Nowhere near it. Probably middle of the pack overall, but I still enjoyed it for the character. So, if you want to go see it in the theater, go.
Yeah.
Enjoy the theater. Enjoy the soda. I had soda and pretzels with cheese, and
Cool.
I was like happy. And like I said, and then we had people around. I'm like, this is what going to theater does.
Yep.
So yeah, go see it if you can, wherever you are in the world. Yeah, go watch it. I'd go watch it.
Okay.
If you ask me like, hey, I want to go watch it again, I'd be like, okay, let's go.
Oh yeah, maybe I will.
Yeah.
Maybe I will do that.
But you got to get caught up in a couple things. Oh yeah, quick thing. Everybody needs to be caught up through at least Falcon and Winter Soldier.
All of it?
Yep.
Okay.
You got to be all the way caught up. If you're not caught up by then you're gonna miss a couple. Well, you'll miss the end credit scene. You won't understand what the hell's going on.
Okay.
So make sure if you're gonna go see it and you haven't been caught up all the way, go get caught up there. You don't have to worry about Wanda. You don't have to worry about Loki. Go there, watch that, and then that way that scene will make a ton of sense to you.
Okay, cool.
Yep, there you go.
All right, that is the news. So 101 is dark tonight because Jess is working. She will be back, I promise. So now let's move on to our feature presentation.
And now for our feature presentation.
All right, so this is our feature presentation right now. As promised, as teased, as alluded to earlier, we have a special guest on tonight. This guy's been doing podcasts for a while too. First saw him, how was it? The All Aboard podcast years ago? Yeah.
Yeah. Back in 2015, we started.
2015. So that was a year before the LTP started. So yeah, you got us beat by a year. So the Jungle Cruiser is part of this Venn diagram of podcasts we have here. So we're all sort of connected. We have one person that's in each sort of. So we kind of the LTP, which of course Udi is a part of, and he's part of the Mando show, which Joey is part of, and Joey is part of the All Aboard podcast. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So that's how we were all kind of related in that weird family reunion way.
Yeah, like the crazy uncle coming through with the beer going, where's more beer? That's Joe.
Yeah. Anyways, it's the Jungle Cruiser joining us tonight if we didn't figure that out. So, hey, what's up, Corey?
What's going on, guys? How you doing? I know you guys don't like to call me the Jungle Cruiser. Oh, it's not even the. I messed it up on our first episode when I said the Jungle Cruiser. It was never the. It was just Jungle Cruiser. And I don't even know why I came up with that, but...
Hey, I like it.
Too late, man.
Yeah.
I'm always going to call you the Jungle Cruiser.
Did you have any alternate names, though?
No, I didn't. It just all started in the app, and it was... people just had these unique Disney-type names, and I'm like, whatever. Jungle Cruiser sounds awesome, and I just... It's been that way ever since. Back in like 2013, 2012. So way before I ever started doing this podcast.
Okay.
Oh.
Awesome. Well, we're happy to have you tonight.
The Jungle Cruiser.
The only Jungle Cruiser we know.
Yeah.
Yes. Is it nice and brisk where you are these days? Right?
Yeah, super brisk. No, blazing.
Oh my gosh.
Blazing 100 at midnight.
Oh,
that's worse than here. So no complaints. I'm not going to do that. All right. So today is Monday, July 12th, and we are like 4 days away from the Jungle Cruise returning to Disneyland. And with it brings some changes. And I know at the moment, as we speak, they are having soft openings. In fact, they had those on Friday, rolling through the weekend. And here we are Monday. So I expect everything is going to continue to go open. And I thought it was really cool that they are allowing guests to go on it while the Imagineers are still doing some finishing touches on it. So we're not going to get a final product yet. we haven't seen the final product. So hopefully that'll come out on Friday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, but before that, let's just go into a little bit of history of this, of the world famous Jungle Cruise. Cause I know people, they may or may not know some of this stuff, but it's also, I think, important to know your history to know where you've come from, so you kind of see the importance of this attraction.
Oh my, never mind.
What?
I want to run on a tangent. Like, too many
What?
people don't do that right now. Go learn your history, please.
Oh yes, go learn your history.
I'll leave it there.
But we're talking about Disneyland attraction history.
Any kind of history.
Okay. So let's do this. So where does the Jungle Cruise start? Well, we do know that it was an original opening day attraction, but it goes a little deeper than that. According to Disney historian David Mumford, one of Walt's earliest ride conceptions was the River of Romance, which was a tribute to the Americana and the concept this concept of this River of Romance had guests going through the Everglades and down the Suwannee River. By 1953, the boat ride designs had become a jungle excursion. The initial site plan, so this is pre-Disneyland. So people that know Disneyland history should know that the original site was in Anaheim, but it was adjacent to the studios.
Yep.
So this is what this is in reference to. And if you haven't seen that artwork, it should be readily available online. But there are some really good books out there that have all this stuff that really show the concept of what it wasn't even Disneyland at that point. It was something, but maybe they were calling it Disneyland, but it does not look at all like it does today, nor is it even in the same area. The initial site plan had a big lake with an island in the middle filled with tropical trees and foliage. Motorboats would they would leave a dock and circumnavigate the island. Harper Goff, one of Disney's soon-to-be Imagineers, because remember they hadn't even coined that phrase yet, told him that this wouldn't work because the guests on the motorboats would have to turn their heads constantly while the boat made its way around the island. So basically, if you can imagine Times Square Island right now and motorboats shooting around it, this was the original version of the Jungle Cruise, what would become the Jungle Cruise. And for reasons, as I just mentioned, it wasn't logical or going to work. The next version was to have boats enter a river on the island with the jungle canopies and landscapes on either side. So Walt said, no, we can't do that. Let's just see if we can have the river go through the island. And so they drew that up. And so further development had a jungle canopy with birds and other animals and other artifacts in there. Not real animals at this point, just statues and figurines and whatnot. Walt agreed to this idea, but Walt wanted this attraction to be timed. That is, he wanted it to last a certain amount of time. So he made Goff draft a plan with a lake that had an island in the center. Walt then asked how long it would take for people to get to the island, to go through the river and then to get back. When it was determined that the motorboats would make the trip a short one, well, I should say shorter than what Walt had envisioned, he rejected the idea because Walt really wanted this to be like a slow romantic thing, and motorboats just really weren't going to cut it. Goff went back to the drawing board again. This time he abandoned the lake and island theme. He worked with architects and set designers. And it's also important to note, listeners, that Walt was coming from a movie background.
Yeah.
So at his disposal were storytellers, animators, and set designers, prop designers. We're not talking about theme park stuff. These guys are not trained in that. There was no theme park training at that point.
No.
I mean, you had, of course, you had some theme parks or some amusement parks, I might add, but no one was really proficient in any of this stuff. So, so he worked with, like I said, set designers, and they came up with what Goff came up with was a river ride where the boats would return to the same place where they started. The ride would be called the Tropical Rivers of the World. But by the time Disneyland opened in 1955, it had been renamed to the Jungle Cruise. The Jungle Cruise was originally planned for the east side of the park.
Yeah.
So its location would have been right behind like where Star Tours is right now. And if you can get your mind around that, I can't. So
weird, right?
It is weird. And So what happened was, as they were walking around the park or the property, they had noticed that big bank of eucalyptus trees that are on the west side that are still behind the firehouse. As we maybe the original grove isn't there anymore, but new ones have sprung up, and this actually created a natural sound barrier. And they thought, well, maybe we've got that. How about let's move this river ride over there? Mm-hmm. So that is what happened. So then now it is where it has been. So the next time you're in the park and you see those eucalyptus trees over there, go, oh yeah, that's why those were there, and this is why the Jungle Cruise is there. Mm-hmm. Right up until the last moment before the park's opening, Adventureland had been called or referred to as the True Life Adventureland. And it was meant to bring to life the nature films that Walt had been producing. Goff, who was a big fan of the film African Queen, had suggested to Walt that they design a Hollywood jungle where exotic inhabitants would appear and perform on cue for each of the boatload of guests. So, again, it was Harper Goff who switched from the motorboats to these African Queen type boats, which we see now.
You can see the design if you know that movie. Mm-hmm. You can go back to the original, even with the canopy, it having the striping and the general shape of the boat.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, the design it's been modified since then. Yeah. But it hasn't been approved upon. In Jungle Cruise, you can jump in anytime you like.
No, you guys are good. Okay. Honestly, I don't know much of the history, and if you guys know my show, we don't do the research like this. But
okay.
Yeah, we.
So we do get flack for it though.
Oh, okay. Well, I love doing research, so this is So one of the tricks was to make this a convincing jungle out in the middle of Anaheim. Master gardener and landscape artist to Disneyland was a man named Bill Evans. And listeners, if you haven't done any research on him, his fingerprint are still over the park today. Everything you see was because of him, as far as the plant selection, the layout, the Mickey floral. This guy was a master gardener and landscaper, and was completely. More should be talked about him, and maybe one day we'll talk about him more on the LTP. But he and Goff literally drove around the Los Angeles region looking for trees. If they saw a tree that they liked, they'd talk to the property owner and ask if they'd like to sell it to them. In an interesting, and people would, but in an interesting twist of fate, there was also the construction of the Los Angeles area freeway system going on at the same time Disneyland was being developed. The construction crews were carving out a 200-foot right-of-way passage through a residential neighborhood. That also included hundreds of mature trees that would actually be taken out. Nice. So Bill Evans and company said, we would like those, and they paid $25 per tree, so that people wouldn't take them. And as soon as they agreed to sell them, him and his team would come up and just box them up, accordingly, and bring it back to Disneyland. And they said they would have daily updates of this. Hey, we're going to knock out this neighborhood, or we're going to go through this neighborhood and take out these trees. So he paid $25 for them. At the end of all this, the Santa Monica, the Pomona, and Santa Ana freeways all yielded trees for Disneyland. So during the construction of the Jungle Cruise, they had to find people excavators, and they had a hard time getting bids to do it because the plans were so loosely drawn together. They were drawn on like notebook paper without to scale. Yeah. So they had trouble going, what are you guys even talking about? Yeah. We don't know how to do this. So
yeah, if I'm in that conversation, I'm looking at it like, what? And as you're talking, and in my mind, I'm thinking, how would have it been for them to be walking from house to house to whatever, and go like, by the way, your tree, I kind of like it. You want to sell it to me? They'll be like, okay, why? For what? Oh, we're building this thing over here. And they're, because we are so used to having the park, there isn't a time in our life where we haven't had it.
That's true.
So when you look back at it, I often put myself back into that situation in my mind, I'm like, man, how crazy would it have been? Like, you know, that's a movie I want to see. Like, can we get like a biopic on that? Like the guys
Building
who
it?
helped build the park, and then running around and going like, hey, I want your tree. Hey, we're gonna go dig this ditch over here. Hey, what are we doing over here? And then have you want like, hey, we're gonna build a little train over here. Like all you hear. All these stories about when the park is getting, made and built, and then culminating. Maybe it'd be great to culminate in the opening day with seeing the women's heels getting stuck in the blacktop.
Yeah.
Things of that nature. But yeah, as you're talking, I'm like, oh my gosh, can you imagine how that job would have been like? So what are we doing today? We're gonna go hit that neighborhood for what? Trees. Okay, what are we doing tomorrow? We're gonna go hit that neighborhood for what? Trees. And then going to for me being in the line of work I do, if somebody brings me a map and goes like, or a loosely drawn plan, this is what we're going to build, I would have been like, yeah, you need to do better than that. Anyway, so I mean that as you're talking, I keep on thinking about the history, and I'm like, man, can you imagine?
And
being
imagine,
in that?
yeah. And when was the last time you saw some major freeway getting built where they had to claim like land rights?
Yeah, I mean it has been a very long time.
Yeah, you don't see that very often. So they had that weird timing issue with that. So back to this kooky plan of getting this jungle ride going. These people had no idea how to build this. So Harper Golf constructed this thing called the Jungle Jeep, and you can find this video where this kooky guy's driving through these berms. Have you seen that? And that is Harper Goff going, okay. He said like the boat, this car is the same size as the boat, so it has to make this curve. And they
okay.
And so they would carve out this berm, and of course, I should say that the dirt they used to carve out the Jungle Cruise and the Rivers of America
Made the berm.
Yeah. So they would carve it out and then set it to the side. And if the Jungle Jeep didn't make the curve, then they actually had to have guys with shovels right then and there digging it. And then they go, okay, well, this is where we think the center is. And that's how it was. So I implore all you guys out there, guys and girls, to go out there and watch this stuff online somewhere. You were going to laugh. You're going to go, there's no way these guys pulled this off. With this, we were talking about zoning permits earlier.
Yeah.
These guys were literally was the Wild West.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoa. Sorry.
Oh, that was an interruption from one of our sponsors, apparently.
Wow. Yeah.
And then, at the very beginning, Walt did have live animals out there.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to make it authentic. Because remember, the way it is now, it's all tongue-in-cheek and, kind of kitschy. It wasn't like for the first couple of years, it wasn't like that. It was like, this is serious, true life stuff. But those animals, they weren't performing. They were like, they would be hiding or laying down or doing other stuff. And they just couldn't afford to have live animals out there anymore because it wasn't doing what they were doing. And I might say this was before animatronics. So they actually got fake animals out there.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Yeah. And so I just kind of wanted to leave it there. That's, I think, enough history for people to digest right now.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, this is too much boring stuff. Jungle River ride. But that's how its origins were. So in Walt's initial theme park design, there were a few things he really wanted. One was this river ride. One was, well, see, what else did he really want? He wanted a steamboat.
Yeah.
And a few other things that actually translated over into Disneyland. But so this was one of the things, and it was an opening day attraction. And it's great if you look back at the early photos of the Jungle Cruise to look at the dock, look at how sparse everything was. And now it is an actual jungle in its of itself here in Anaheim. And they've done a great job doing that.
Yep.
So that is where we are. So let's bring us to 2021. The Jungle Cruise is getting yet another update based upon just references in society that they wanted to update. Jungle Cruiser, since you are a Jungle Cruiser, what are your thoughts about all this?
The Jungle Cruiser.
Wait a minute, he's not the Jungle Cruiser.
He's the Jungle Cruiser.
He's Jungle Cruise.
Do you know who the Jungle Cruiser is? It's actually Walt Disney. It was like one of his favorite rides to go on, I think in the morning before it even opened.
Oh.
And just drive the boats. Thought I read that somewhere, so you can verify that. But
I'm not going to verify it.
Subconsciously, I'm comparing myself to Walt Disney. I'm really not.
Wow.
But I honestly have not. I know that they're making the changes. I have seen, I've heard stuff on that. I know other podcasts within the family have talked about that. And but I did watch a little video earlier. I guess it was from the soft opening. I didn't even realize it wasn't going yet. But like I said, I haven't been back to the parks. I don't know what really is going and what's not. But I do. I mean, I don't mind changes. I like when Disneyland changes rides, and but for the reasoning, I mean, I don't know too much about that either. So,
yeah.
But I'm always up for seeing new stuff and how they do it at Disneyland. So.
Well, the one thing that whenever we have a change or an update or however you want to put it to an attraction and especially one as beloved to us like this one, we're gonna have those moments of like of doubt. Are you for real? You know what I mean? And you have that worry where they're going to mess up and they're going to take away from, our childhood maybe a little bit, or they're going to maybe mess up the vibe and take away from what makes that attraction so, near and dear. And so, definitely we've talked about it here on the LTP about how we were worried about where they were going to go with it. The Trader Sam and that thing, I'm worried, and obviously we got to wait till we write it to figure that out. But, end of the day, I'm going to side with Imagineering, with the Imagineers, because so far, like I stated before, overall with the reimaginings and the redoing and the updates for many of the attractions that I grew up with, the only one that they screwed up badly to me is Pirates. I hate red. I hate red now. It went from loving red to hating red, and that I tried to get my hands around. Like, it's fine. It's just not for me. But that being said, that I think from what I've seen that this is going to be fine. I think it's going to be good. And I think, overall my worry has kind of like dissipated, Yeah. I know I may come from, when we talk about the park, like, Corey, he's like, yeah, it's fine, man. Let's do it. Let's check it out. And then you and me, Mark, are a little bit more like, I don't know, So, I mean,
my thing is, and it's not specific to the Jungle Cruise, but I just have a problem with designing something when you're in the terms of designing something for art, and ideology cannot outweigh the story, and ideology cannot outweigh the art.
Correct.
And to me, I think we're seeing examples of this.
Yeah.
And I'm going to leave it at that. And that's what I have trouble with. If they had said, in fact, here's how ridiculous this is for me. If they had said, you know what, we're going to do some refurbishment of the Jungle Cruise. It's going to be offline for 4 months. We're going to make some, improvements, and left it at that, I would have been fine. I would have been totally fine.
Right.
I wouldn't be having any argument.
Right.
But when they have to justify stuff,
yeah,
towards a certain ideology, like I think is what's happening. Well, clearly that's what's happening.
Yeah.
Then it makes me feel a little sick to my stomach.
Yeah.
It makes me feel icky is the term, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, what? You're doing what? Because of what? But what about the art? What about the story?
Yeah.
I'm going to leave it at that. And because I don't want to ruffle any feathers or anything like that.
I'll jump in on that one.
But that being said, I am looking forward to the jungle flowing again, and it's flowing as we speak, as I mentioned. And I am very excited to check it out whenever I get a chance to. So Corey, what about what are some of your favorite memories of this attraction?
So speaking of kind of history of it, actually I was going to ask you guys earlier, what was the ride that did that for you, where the Imagineers messed it up? Udi said Pirates.
Yeah.
what would you say? Like the last time the Imagineers messed up a ride or rethemed a ride to where you weren't sure about it, because you guys always go in and like you said, you're not sure about it. You end up riding it like Guardians, for instance, and then we all love it. It's like, okay, they actually did a really good job recreating that or whatever, turning Tower into Guardians. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, that's a great question, and I have no trouble eating crow on that because I think
we all do a little bit.
I was fairly upset with Tower of Terror going down.
Yeah, you were like throwing things through windows and chairs.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. No, I was like, no, you can't be doing that. This is going to be horrible. But I think Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout is fantastic. I think the whole thing. I mean, I'll just say that I thought Tower of Terror was a really good theme, and it was very unique and very appropriate for where it was. But remember, this was long before they even announced any Marvel expansion or Adventures Campus. We're going to put Guardians of the Galaxy right here. What? But that thing brings the heat every single time, and I love it. Anytime I get a chance to go on it.
Yeah, and it's always a good time. And then any iteration of it. So we're doing the normal, or we do to Halloween, or whatever that one was. The Blackout, was it Blackout? Whatever. Which one is that, Corey?
You mean the Monsters?
I think it's like the Monsters Take Over.
There you go. Yeah.
It's something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. I mean, that is amazing. I've only been on it once in that configuration, or that update or modification. So I mean, yeah, we can do that. But I don't know. Like I said, for me, Red, I can't think of another one where I've been like, man, I get more. Yeah.
It's for different reasons, but mine is Soarin'. Like California was just the most amazing attraction.
Yeah.
World does not do it for me. So like if we don't go on that when I go to the park, I'm not upset anymore. But like I said, Swan Over California was just an amazing attraction.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. Now, I have brought up the idea with that one that you brought up, and I'm going to throw it by you. What if they did a Soaring Over the World, but they intermixed it with California? So you would go on, and you wouldn't know till you were on which one you were going to get.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay,
yes. Roll the dice type thing.
Yeah, I would love that.
Of course.
Personally, I'd have a great time with that. And I don't know if you'd rename it. I don't even think you'd have to go no, I would just rename it to Soarin'.
Soarin'?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway.
What you got to do.
Yep.
But what would you not want it to be soaring over? Like soaring over Utah. Here we are. Here's another mountain range. Another mountain range.
No. Anyway.
What one?
I would be like, I wouldn't want to be soaring over Afghanistan. Okay.
Soaring over Afghanistan? Oh, come on, Udi. You wouldn't. That would sell tickets.
No, even though there is Everest, and that is out in that general vicinity. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I would go. I would go like, maybe like soaring over the 7 wonders of the world.
And that would be awesome.
And then it would even be more interesting. Now we're going off tangent completely, but soaring over the 7 ancient wonders of the world. That would be fun too.
Yes.
That'd be fun too.
Or what about soaring over all the Disneyland parks, and you got to pick one?
Nah.
No.
No. I would not be down for that.
How about soaring over Harbor Boulevard?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, I'm stopping that. I'm getting out of control.
Yeah.
So
memories, history.
Yeah.
So what's that?
No, I was to say you were asking my memories or whatever. I was going to bring up one little piece of history that they don't do anymore. Do you guys have an official Jungle Cruise map?
Oh,
do you? I know I don't.
No, but you know what I do have is a facsimile that is a photocopied one that's not even centered and is black and white. Is that what you're talking about?
It's a black and white one, yeah. And it's like I don't even know like if it's parchment paper or whatever the paper they used to put it on. It wasn't 20-pound paper, but when I told some of my friends we should go get these because they give them out at the Jungle Cruise.
Yes.
They were giving them out on this pink 20-pound paper that didn't even make sense. Like white paper, fine, but this pink, magenta, whatever it was, colored paper, and it wasn't even that same material as the one I have an official one.
Oh.
And it's awesome. It's a little free souvenir that they used to give out, kind of like the death certificate. It's those little things that they do, and they don't do that anymore. So I just wonder why they don't do that. This was like
money.
Like maybe like 6-7 years ago, they didn't even do it. So it wasn't anything to do with COVID or anything like that. It was just they stopped doing it years ago. Kind of disappointing.
Yeah, money. I mean, usually anything like that gets broken down to straight up the bottom line. Sad to say, but yeah, that would be my guess. But that would be cool.
If they sold them, that would be cool. Just right there, go to I don't know what's close by. What's a store?
That
nearby?
Bazaar.
The Bazaar, yeah.
The Bazaar.
Yeah,
I was thinking the Bazaar, yeah. But okay, yeah, because it's Adventureland. Yeah, just sell them for like $1 in there. People would buy those up as long as they were on that official paper they used to give out.
Yeah, I agree. I know I would get one.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that and asking to get one, but it wasn't like an elegant thing that you have. It was like a regular stock printer paper.
Yeah.
That was like the map barely even fit on the paper. It was like all off center, and I go, well, this is ridiculous. And you couldn't even read it. You could tell it was a river, and there were some plants, but there was some writing on there. You couldn't read it. And I go, well, this is ridiculous. But I think what you have sounds much more interesting than mine. So we did ask some people about this, some memories, and not too many people responded. That's okay. Walt Izzy commented his favorite memory is the backside of water, and I go, okay, great.
Well, yeah, I mean that one is kind of the catch-all. I think we all like that one.
Yeah, but Laura, coming from Hawaii, I might add, she commented, my mom always noticed the details that went into the attractions. So on Jungle Cruise, she would nudge me and point out things the Imagineers had done to make the scenery realistic and help me understand how intricate the work involved was. To this day, I notice the little details and the craftsmanship because of my mom. She always loved the Jungle Cruise and the bad jokes and the puns. After the ride, she would still be laughing. They want to get ahead. Yours.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Laura, kudos to your mom.
Oh yeah.
That is incredibly awesome that your mom did that. And I totally do the same thing with my daughters. You can ask them, and it's annoying, I know, but it's important because this had an impact on Laura, and that's great. And there's a lot of cool things that they've done in the Jungle Cruise, and I hope to see more of that. Does this attraction change for you during any particular time of the day?
Yeah, I like riding it either maybe first thing in the morning. There's that because the sun's not all the way out yet, so you have that like the sky looks like almost gray in a way, or at night.
Mm-hmm.
I have not done the morning. That's one time I've never done.
In the morning, I have.
Oh, you have?
Oh yeah. This one is kind of a weird one.
Okay.
And in the fact that for me, while Jungle Cruise is great at night, and we've ridden it at night, I like it more than the day. It is weird.
Oh, that's not weird at all.
No, but I like. Oh man, it's difficult because the only reason why I like it more is because you see more. But at night, it completely changes. Like a lot of the attractions at the park do, completely becomes a new animal, and that one is really like that. To me, it is infinitely more spooky at night, and I kind of like that.
Yes.
So that is why I'll always ride it. So it hits better during the day, and the skippers make that up. They always do. A good skipper is the cherry on top of the on top of the whipped cream for that attraction. So yeah, at night it is kind of a different animal, like completely different. Not even like completely different.
It's eerie, I think.
Yeah,
because you see colors in the foliage that you didn't see before. Like, what is that orange glow or the green glow over there? And you don't see that during the middle of the day. But you're right, it does hit at the daytime. But it's a complete, like you said, it's a completely different animal. No pun intended, right?
I was thinking that the whole time. We kept saying that.
I'm glad you picked up on it.
But either time, I still get a sense of wonder and and I just I know it's one of those great things, for sure.
And the thing about this attraction is it changes every single time you ride it. I mean, because you get a new skipper every time you ride it, and I'm sure the skipper doesn't do the same exact show, each time they go around. They probably change it up a little bit here and there. They probably stick to, obviously they have their own little script, but then they can go off script a little bit as long as it's, appropriate enough. But it could be a really bad tour, I guess if you want to call it that, or it could be like a really good tour. You guys listen back at that lost audio we had from our trip in 2019?
I listened to part of it. I don't think I've listened to everything, or it's been a minute since I've listened to it.
That was a good skipper. Like, I was super sick, so I don't remember much of it. I remember being on the attraction with you guys and Joey doing his little video, but I, for some reason, drew a blank until I listened back at that audio. That skipper was amazing.
I remember.
And listening,
Well, I remember more, that one was just because of who we were, the company we're in. So, that for me is more the memory or and not even a precise memory. It's more of a feeling, a memory of how it was. Yeah.
And that's exactly why I forgot the entire, the skipper's spiel the whole time until I listened back at it. And I'm like, man, this was a great skipper. So, like I said, it could be a really great experience, or it could be like, all right, we'll try it again next time, or later on tonight, or something like that. I've had bad skippers, we're kind of, it doesn't ruin the ride because it's hard to ruin that one because the sound alone of the boat, the sound of the jungle and the view, everything you're looking at is always great. You could have a bad skipper and it'd still be like a great ride, but a great skipper just heightens that, I guess.
Yeah, and that is one thing I was kind of worried about with the update, that they were going to try to pigeonhole a skipper into a tighter box, if you want to put it that way, of what you can and can't say. And it doesn't sound like they've done that. It sounds like they've given them the freedom to kind of, do their own spiel and like you're saying, a good skipper, just makes it that much better. So I was worried about that, and I'm glad, again, listening to that, watching that video and them kind of explaining what they were doing, it made me like, okay, that was one of my big worries. Like, are they going to make it where one of the things that kind of hold the attraction away from others, that the skipper, are they going to take that away? I was hoping they wouldn't, and I kind of like, it would be crazy if they did. Yeah, and they didn't. Or seems like they haven't.
No, I know they haven't. And from what I've seen a couple of videos already of it. Not the full thing because I want to have some surprises for them. But just the way the Jungle Skippers have been handling it, it looks like it's right on par to what you expect. Mm-hmm. And like I said, from what I've seen, everything looks fine. So but I will leave that until I get to go on it. So one of the big changes in the last, I'm not going to even count last year because that was just a fluke of nothingness. But prior to that, one of the big changes / enhancements, and I know it's not really a part of Jungle Cruise proper, but it does play a part in its story, is the Tropical Hideaway. Mm-hmm. And Corey, what are your thoughts on that? Does it help? Does it take it away from
I love the Tropical Hideaway. No, I love it. I love the addition to it.
That is the right answer, I might add.
There are no wrong answers.
Because we went there. Was that?
There are no wrong answers, but you said the right one.
No, because my first time going there, and I know it's fairly newish. Well, just like you said, take 2020 out of it, but even in 2019, it was still fairly new. I don't know how new, but it was my first time being there. Yeah, and it was basically a preview of the Jungle Cruise because you got Rosita doing her thing. Yeah. And you have almost like that it's almost like the Dole Whip stand, like a really big enhanced Dole Whip stand with more options, more seating.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Correct.
And there was a joke that I had made. I don't know if it was right then and there or if it was earlier in the day. And we were with, Yoho Joe or Joey. And Rosita made this joke, and Joey was laughing. And I'm like, I made that same joke a little bit ago. And he's like, yeah, but this is Rosita. And I'm like, whatever, man. So I guess my delivery wasn't that great. But the Tropical Hideaway,
Yeah, I mean, I remember seeing the original concept art or sorry, when it was released to the public, and we were talking about it on the show, and I go, yeah, this is a design win. Everything looks great. I cannot wait till this thing shows up. And they did deliver on that. And I think it's day or night. This thing's a nice place to go chill. And I wish there was more interaction between guests on the Jungle Cruise boats and the people sitting at the Tropical Highway. But in my experience, they don't seem to engage with each other.
I try.
Do you? Yeah. Okay.
Well, you know
like
how
a Blue
it is.
Bayou type situation?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the Blue Bayou is dark. So I look over and I'm like, yeah, you're eating your bread. But that is a little bit different there. And then,
But the skippers don't, I wish they would reference someone out there. Like, oh, look at that guy. Look at that wildlife out there.
Maybe they will.
Yeah, look at that wild.
Well, maybe they don't want to offend.
Oh, well, you never know. But it would be nice if they kind of, brought them in on the show a little bit like that.
I agree. Mm-hmm. I agree. I would like that. So here, going to kind of go off on a little bit of a tangent here. The movie. Okay, we're going to go.
Yeah.
Let's walk on over the movie. I don't know how you felt initially. But I got kind of happy. Only because, we go back to nostalgia and we look at what they did with, Pirates. Now, they have had a few failed attempts at other IPs, trying to make them a little bit more. We can go with, like, Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
What is another? Tomorrowland. There were a few, like, flat-out duds that landed. Then they announced, The Rock.
Galaxy's Edge. I'm joking.
I'm going to throw things at you now. But, then you have Emily Blunt, who I love, and then you have The Rock, who, remove...
and Paul Giamatti.
Oh, yeah, Paul Giamatti.
I love Paul Giamatti.
So when you look at the cast, then that is kind of, like, built, I'm like, oh, man. Holy crap. This is going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
And then the trailers hit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, hell yeah. I'm like in. And so, Corey, what was your thought when you first heard that they were going to make a movie based on Jungle Cruise?
Based on me, yes.
Yeah, based on the.
I got excited. I am a Rock fan. I really am.
Can we call you The Rock now? Rock Jr.?
Call me The Rock. It's fine.
Corey, just real quick, who would play you in a movie, by the way?
I've got one.
What were you gonna say?
I've got one, but he's no longer with us on the
Rock.
planet. No.
Oh,
he's no longer with us. Who is it?
Philip Seymour Duncan. He'd play
Hoffman. Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah, Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh, yeah.
He'd be a good you.
Yeah, I can see that.
No? Do you not?
I've lost a lot. I've lost a lot of weight since you saw me last. So I would be more,
but not. It isn't even a weight.
Heath Ledger.
No.
Also not with us.
Sorry, brother. Yeah.
That's why I said that. I'm kidding. But
okay, back to the task at hand. I get deep.
Yeah, but anyway, so yeah.
So what were your original thoughts on when this was announced?
No idea. Yeah, like you said, you were talking about Pirates, how it's epic, and this one, and there was those failures, and there's one in there, that Tower of Terror, that wasn't necessarily a failure. And I like that movie, but it wasn't as epic. Pirates is like where they peaked from turning an attraction into a movie.
Correct.
And I think this is going to be the closest thing to it, because Haunted Mansion didn't do it. And I wasn't really even a fan of the last few Pirates, but the first two nailed it, and they were just so amazing. And I think that this one, like I said, is going to be the closest thing to it since Pirates.
Yeah, and definitely the vibe is there. What about you, Mark?
Well, my first original thought was like, oh, are you serious? They're doing a Jungle Cruise movie? You got to be kidding me. But then that's pretty much my reaction to everything that Disneyland does. Mm-hmm. Are you doing what? But then I kind of go, okay, well, let's see what it's about. And then the trailer dropped. The very first thing I thought of was like, oh, this is Pirates of the Caribbean, the very first one, because there's someone being chased by some sort of creature in the jungle.
Yep.
At least from what I can tell. And there's some people screaming and running around. Okay, this is very Pirates of the Caribbean-esque, but that's not a bad thing. Mm-hmm. But I guess I was mostly worried that The Rock was going to make a buffoon out of himself and make fun of the whole thing. And from his interviews, no, he took it very seriously. It's a tribute to Walt.
Yeah.
And to me, that made all the difference in the world. That completely changed my disposition of it. We go, oh, okay, now this is where he's coming from. And it looks, it actually, I am looking forward to this on July 30th. That's when I hope we can go see it. And I just, I'm glad they're finally doing it, finally released, because this should have been released a couple years ago, yeah?
A year ago.
So I'm looking forward to this. When we'll see if there's going to be a sequel already, but
there is.
But no, I mean, I don't mind. I think it's good. I think it's good for them. I do wish they were not releasing it on Disney Plus.
Are they?
Yeah. Well, no, Black Widow was on Disney Plus.
I know.
But I think, okay, I could be mistaken. We get to look it up. But I think Jungle Cruise is coming out on Disney Plus. And
it might be.
It is, but it's not free. It's not one of the free ones, though.
No, it'll be premium.
Is Black Widow free?
Nope.
But to me, they need to cut that out.
I agree. I think we'll go on that critique real quick. Disney has been screwing up a lot. To be flat out real.
Oh, okay.
They've been. I mean, I could make a whole.
How do you really feel, Rudy?
I could make a whole 2-hour podcast of me griping about how they've been screwing up this, that, the other thing. But I'm not going to do that. I made a conscious effort at beginning of the year, like I said, to be positive, and we continue that path. But it doesn't mean they haven't pushed me. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so going back to the critique, they do need to cut that out. I think they are. Like many corporations trying to figure out what the hell is going on with after our year of the Rona, and how do you, as a corporation as big as them, juggle the whole thing? So part of me is like, I get it, but the other part of me is like, no, you need to knock it off, because I think that you are undercutting they are undercutting themselves. They're saying, okay, we're going to go $30 for that. But you know how much money gets funneled through the theater? So for me, for the good of the industry as a whole, they kind of need to run away from the Netflix model.
I agree.
And the Hulu model. I get what they're trying to do. They want their piece of the pie. And I get that, but they cannot continue because, the other... Now you got me going on a tangent. They're trying to compete now with HBO Max because HBO Max has taken a big part of the profit of that share. And to me, I'm like, Disney, don't worry about it. Don't do it. Don't worry about trying to premiere access and da-da-da. No, if you want, keep with your exclusive things like Apple TV has done, like Netflix does, like every other streaming service. But do not do the movie on, for premium. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Make people go to the theater. Make people go there. Make people go out there because it is overall for the betterment of the industry, my opinion. So, yeah.
Are you guys at 100% yet at your movie theaters in California?
Dude, man, I went to go see Black Widow this last weekend. I walked in mask-free. But then again, I'm that a-hole that some people call me an a-hole because I haven't worn a mask in 2 months.
No, they call that for
2.5 months,
some other
3
reasons.
Months. Yeah. Well, yeah. I am lucky enough, and I'll go here IRL. I live in a county that has been wide open. Our rep here, Kevin Kiley, has been fighting our governor here in California, trying to reopen and get, be more balanced. And
in fact, he's running for governor.
He is, and I was there at his announcement. But anyway, but yeah, we're back. We're 100%. Placer County, where I live, has been 100% for a while. They kind of told our governor here to shove it. So yeah, I know not everywhere in California is as lucky as we are, but yeah, I think they need to encourage that behavior. They need to re-encourage and revitalize the industry.
Where'd you see the movie?
I saw it in Roseville.
Oh, okay, because you didn't come over here.
No, but I would have.
Okay.
And again, if they try to make me put a mask on,
no, they wouldn't.
They wouldn't. Give one of these.
No, they wouldn't.
Anyway,
are you guys open out there, Corey?
Yeah, we're open over here. Yep.
Cool.
That's what I'm wondering. I mean, the theaters, I don't know if they're at 100 yet, but I don't go that often anyway. I'm always like way too busy. But Jungle Cruise is one that I already set time aside. I'm like,
heck yeah.
I'm going to go watch that in the movie theater, even though I have a nice surround system. I have Disney Plus. I could easily get it, but I'm going to take my oldest to that.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not even on opening day. I'm not one of those who needs to see it right away and 10 times the first day. But once it does come out, I do plan on going to see that in the movie theater.
Will you get popcorn?
Yes, it's funny because we still get popcorn from the movie theater even now.
Oh, can you?
We'll just go there.
Can you do that?
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that.
Some have. Yeah.
I wonder if I can go. I live about three blocks from this big movie theater.
You can go around the corner and get it.
Oh, that's great.
I would almost guarantee you that because that's where they make their money. So if you say, "Hey, can I just go get a bag of popcorn and leave?" I mean, I don't think they're going to say no because if that's all you wanted to do.
Yeah.
Where I live, there's a company out here who does. It's called a Party Bag. It's $10 for this huge, like basically it's the size of 3 large popcorns. You just take it to go. It's $10 and you just take it to go. It lasts you days.
Holy crap!
Maybe like a week or so. Yeah.
Of popcorn.
Yeah, and that's the design of it. It's just
nice.
huge. Basically, it's like a huge Ziploc bag. They fill it up, and you go on your way.
Oh, great!
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I won't ever do
But yes,
that.
I will be getting popcorn when I go there.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's great news. So lots of good things coming out for the Jungle Cruise. Again, it's one of those attractions that hasn't really had a whole lot of changes to it. I mean, nothing major, some subtle stuff here and there. The docks changed a little bit.
Yeah.
But overall, I mean, it's a beloved attraction that I think people just adore.
Well, I will say that I have seen the Jungle Cruise in a state that I know you haven't, and I know Corey hasn't seen it in dry. I saw it dry.
No, you are correct. I've never seen it dry.
That was weird.
Only in pictures.
Yeah, no.
In my dreams.
No, I when I went, I mean, there were, obviously still working on it, and I peeked through the scrim and saw it dry. And you know what? It kind of made me sad. I'm like, I look back, I'm like, I probably shouldn't have done that.
I don't want I don't want the magic ruined.
Yeah, I'm like, look at that. Because it made me, it brought me back in the real world. I'm like, oh, COVID, stupid. Anyway.
Well,
yeah.
I suspect that if COVID didn't happen last year, do you think these changes would have been happening anyway?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
I mean, I don't know how accelerated plans are for anything.
Right.
And we don't know. And I think a lot of it has to do also with the fact that I don't even think the Imagineers and Disney as a whole knows exactly where to go and what to do at what time. Clearly, because they've been messing up a lot. But anyway, yeah.
Okay. Well, there's that. Anything else you want to add to the Jungle Cruise tonight?
I can't wait to go back on. Definitely when Jess and I went, like a couple months ago now?
Yeah. If that.
A month and a half, I think. God, so much has happened since then. Yeah, we talk about the attraction, like what is your go-to and what wouldn't feel like a complete trip to the park if you don't ride one.
Yeah.
That has always been one of that, like, really hit home. When we left, I'm like, man, no Jungle Cruise.
That or the Matterhorn being silent.
Oh my God, the Matterhorn being. I don't even want to talk about the Matterhorn.
That was worse.
That hit like, it was bad all the way around. Like I'm like, oh my God, like, it was horrible. It was really horrible. I don't like. There are certain things you shouldn't see in life.
Jeez.
a dry Jungle Cruise and a dry Matterhorn. Yeah, never. The funny part is, like, I would not mind seeing a dry lagoon, for the submarine. I'm like, whatever.
Oh, I would mind. Oh, I have seen that.
Yeah, it's shut down right now.
Is it dry?
I don't know. I haven't seen any pictures, but
no, it isn't dry. I saw a picture the other day. Okay. The video wasn't dry. But it's not operational. Fully operational. Yeah. So where are we going with that? Oh, you can't. You can't wait to go back on it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Same here.
What about you, Cor?
Yeah. When are you guys going? I was going to ask you guys that earlier.
October,
next
right?
Time your plans.
Well, some things have changed a little bit.
Okay, we were going to go in October.
Yeah.
Are we not going to go in October now?
Well, I'm going to be going in September, taking my girlfriend for her birthday.
So I'm not going on that trip.
He's not going on that trip.
I don't want to be anywhere near that. That's fine. I love your girlfriend, by the way. She's awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, regardless.
Yeah, she is. She's pretty cool.
She's pretty cool.
No, she is really cool.
Yep.
But other than that, I don't have a date after that.
October.
Well, I'm not sure I can afford October, but Jess might be able to go in
October.
Is Jess going in October?
October.
Okay, so Udi will probably be going in October.
Maybe.
But I will tell you though, Corey, as soon as these APs come back online, we were just talking about this today.
Yeah.
Udi and I, Udi goes a lot more than I do, which is great because he just can go, which is, and
the life of a free man.
Well, I'm a free man.
Yeah. Well,
but
no.
You're a single rider.
I'm a single rider, free man. Love my life. No, but Mark, you have kids. I have none.
I know, but what I was getting at is that once these APs come back online, and it's hopefully we get back to some sort of normalcy with his APs. And I was telling Udi before the show, and I guess we can talk about it now real quick because it's not part of the news. But I suppose they're going to make an announcement sometime late 2021 of what these annual these annual of what these annual passports are going to be. Freudian
membership.
Yeah. Sorry. I suppose they're going to make some sort of announcement as to what these annual passports are going to be. But these membership things. But I told Udi that I don't think the first version is going to be something that we're going to like. And so I'm just kind of doing like preemptive strike where don't get upset if it's not the one you want, because as you remember, that Flex AP just showed up on a Monday or Tuesday out of nowhere.
And we read it and went like, "Are they for real?" And then we're like, "Okay, I'm getting that next month." Like it was like bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
No, if I don't get what I want, I'm going to do what I usually do when I don't get what I want. I hold my breath, stomp on the floor, throw things through. No, I will take it in stride like I do everything and move forward.
Oh, but back to the point. Let's say the annual passes do come back, and it's the one and they have a version that we like that meets his needs or meets my needs, whatever. Because we have different needs, of course. So he can get whatever pass.
We're not all the same?
We're not all the same. But let's just say we both have annual passes. I'd like to go probably every 3 months, every 2 months. Udi likes to go probably every month and a half. And he usually goes down there and meets up with people. And sometimes I go with him, sometimes I don't. Mm-hmm. But so I'll be happy going 4 or 5 times a year. Does that even answer the question? Where was the question?
I don't even know.
When are you going back to the parks?
Yeah, when are we going back to the park?
Oh, October. Yeah. That's our. We're actually planning a trip for October.
Oh, you are.
With the family.
Yeah, with the family.
Well, I'm going with the family. So it's my family, my wife's family, all our kids. So
the whole thing.
Our twins just turned 3 a couple of days ago, and that'll be their first time going.
Congratulations!
Oh my gosh, it's been 3 years already.
The mini cruisers, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love that, dude. Are you gonna make like cheesy shirts for them or something? Bibs.
I should, yeah.
Dude, you totally should.
My daughter's Mini JC on the show. So
there you go.
I got to think of a name. Although my twins do have Disney names. Is Daisy Ray, the girl, and then Benjamin Joe.
Holy crap!
Star Wars. They're Star Wars names.
Yeah, I got you.
You guys know the way better than I do.
Yeah.
It was not on purpose, but it's the way it worked.
Really? The Ray? Okay, we'll go. I mean, Daisy Ray.
Spelled differently. Yeah, but it's R-A-Y.
You like literally did Ray, the character played by Daisy Ridley.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Did you know that when you were?
No,
okay.
I didn't.
Nope. Okay.
No, I did not.
And I'm not trying to criticize you naming your kids, by the way.
Which is strange because my daughter's name is Princess Leia. It has nothing to do with Star Wars.
Nothing. And the other one is Ariel, and that one has nothing to do with it either.
Right. Her name is not Princess Leia, as listeners out there. Anyway,
I picked up on the joke.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, cool. That's going to be exciting for you guys.
No, you're not going to try to haul down the rest of the all aboard cast.
Joey, is not going.
Don't invite the Canadian.
I mean, if he's there, he's there. But no, it's
yeah. Don't invite the Canadian. Don't do it.
Yeah, I've been with him before. I'm just joking.
I know we have been.
I think he's got plans to be in Disney World again around that time. I don't know. I forgot the exact dates.
Oh, that clown.
That's honeymoon type stuff for him. So he'll be tied up with that.
That's right. He's getting.
Did he get married?
No, he will be.
Oh,
ball and chain down.
Congratulations!
Oh yeah,
on that. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Maybe I did. Maybe he just.
Yeah. Now you're making me want to text him and talk trash. But anyway.
Okay. Yeah.
For living in the country he lives in, for one. But we'll move on from that.
Okay. Well, awesome. Well, that's gonna.
Well, dude, yeah, I'm glad you're going. October, what? Do you have a weekend or whatever? Because
it's gonna be a Monday through Thursday, and we're honestly trying to figure that out because they changed the fall break for our kids.
Really?
So once we get that, it's a weird thing. It was the whole thing has been weird so far.
Fall break.
But I'm fighting to make it. They changed it. It's weird.
Is it all Rona related?
No, nothing to do with that.
Oh, really?
They just changed some of the schedules, and I was like, Arizona. All right, well, we gotta try and figure this out. So we're gonna do probably a Monday through Thursday in Cali. Hopefully, get to the park at least one day because there's always that expectation versus reality, and I learned that a long time ago. Yep. So if I don't get more than one day, I'm not. It's fine.
Yeah, let me know, dude. Like, keep me in the loop because if you do, I mean. It may be the weekend I'm there. I'm always down to do like a Friday night or Saturday, Sunday, Monday type thing. I've done that. I don't know how many times in the past, and I'm like really itching to get like back to that. Really back to normalcy of like, I'm going to go for 3 days. Yeah.
You went Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and you went Sunday morning. It was like you almost did a 4-day that trip.
Yeah. I was like a madman that day. I'm like running around going like, yeah, I'm here.
I am not shocked whatsoever. With
I know.
That.
No, when I'm left to my own devices in Disneyland, I do. Yeah, I kind of go crazy. One of the trips after that, we wound up like, yeah, I'm not coming into work tomorrow, and it was with Jess. And we were like, wanting to stay an extra night. Yeah, that was fun. Anyway, I can't wait to get back to that. That is the whole point of that conversation. I can't wait to get back to that. And ride the Jungle Cruise while we're at it.
At night.
And daytime.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Well, I guess we'll wrap up this conversation then. Because we've kind of talked about the Jungle Cruise a lot, which is what we were going to talk about tonight. So, Corey, where can people find you? Where can listeners find out more about you?
We can the All Aboard Podcast on Instagram. It's All Aboard Podcast, or Disney Podcast Family, where you guys can find your guys' show and other Disney podcasts as well as the All Aboard Podcast. Twitter, All Aboard Pod. I think I'm barely on Twitter, but everything feeds from Instagram. But yeah, our main source is going to be Instagram.
Okay. Yep. Awesome. Hey, how's the Space Mountaineer doing?
Oh, he's doing good. We just did an episode together. Well, while Joey and Ryan were at Disneyland, he came back for a little reunion show. It was pretty awesome. So it's our Matterhorn Mountain one. Everything's rebooted. So I know we already did one of those, but we did another one. So.
Oh, cool. Is that out right now?
Yeah, it's available. That's our second to last episode. I think it was number 118 that we just did. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I saw that and haven't had a chance to listen yet, and I'm like, I didn't realize that was that.
Yeah, I didn't know that was. Yeah, I saw that come up in my feed. I didn't know what that was either. Okay, cool.
Well, cool.
Yeah, he's about to experience the expectation versus reality because he's taking his kid for the first time. So, yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Good
man.
Times.
What did you give him like the old, think about that. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, if you listen, it's subtle. I throw it in there very subtly because when we took our daughter for the first time, I was like, man, we're going to do everything. Nah, it just does not.
Nope.
Not happen that way.
I'm sure your daughter regulated that. Yeah, she regulated that, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Right on.
Well, cool, man. I hope the stars align and I wind up being down there when you're down there.
Yeah, I mean, it'll definitely be work weekdays, but yeah, just know that sometime mid-October, maybe I think it's the first week. I think.
Okay.
We're still trying to work out all those details right now, but
easier for me to move around than you for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Well, thank you again so much for taking time out of your evening to talk about this important thing.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can do it again sometime. Maybe have a big mashup with both shows or something. Or we're always down. Always down for that, man.
Yeah. For sure.
Yep.
I was going to ask you guys one thing real quick. You know how Johnny Depp did the whole Pirates of the Caribbean thing?
Uh-huh.
Is The Rock going to do that for Jungle Cruise?
You know, I'm trying to think of where he would be. You know,
is he too big for the boats?
Yeah, well, no, but you know, I don't think he's gonna. Maybe he'll skipper one. That would be crazy. Yeah, I mean,
the skipper one would be amazing.
Or maybe didn't Johnny Depp like come onto one of the boats that was coming by because he came out one of the doors or whatever?
I think I saw the video where he's on the little island part or wherever. Maybe near his his guy, his character.
And that is where I'm wondering, like, will he come out like on one of that, you know, one of those areas, maybe, you know, the encampment, or I don't know. I think it'd be fun.
You mean him in real life?
Versus him
as an animatronic?
No, I don't think you're gonna.
Not the animatronic.
Oh, I see what you're talking about.
I don't think we're getting a rock animatronic.
No. We don't want that.
I don't want that.
No.
Oh, but
if I see a rock animatronic, I'm getting mad. I'm looking to be real. I like the Rock, but no.
Throw a rock at it.
Oh,
yeah, it would be like,
Corey.
here you go, Rock.
You go, Rock. But no, exactly what you said. To your point, I could see him just showing up as a guest skipper one time and just doing a couple runs.
You know, the thing is,
with
the Rock, he would probably be pretty.
I think
damn
he'd be
good,
great
damn
at
good
it.
skipper.
I think he would be pretty funny.
Yeah.
Of course, nobody would be watching the jungle.
Yeah, it'd be like,
"It's a rock."
Right.
And you know,
Right.
I can totally see him playing. Like, you guys need to be paying attention to the, you know, to the scenery.
What's
like,
the Scorpion King doing on the boat?
Oh my god!
What?
That movie, you bring up Scorpion King. Oh,
is he the Scorpion King?
He is, and it was horrible. But anyway,
hey, Scorpion King. I don't know. This is late. Okay, anyways. Okay, well, we'll wrap it up here with Corey, Jungle Cruiser. I almost said the Jungle Cruiser.
The Jungle Cruiser.
Yeah. All right, dude. Have a good rest of your evening. Thank you so much for joining us. And we will
no problem.
Thanks,
we will
brother.
be in touch, and hopefully you can sync up Ludi in October.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys.
All right, man. Later.
Hey, have a good night.
All right, you too. Okay, listeners, that's going to wrap up the show. We had a very special guest, Corey, going off about the Jungle Cruise, a little bit of history, a little bit of where we are and where we're going, and everything in between. It was always nice to talk to him. It's been a minute for me.
Yeah.
And I know you've been on the parks with him before. And,
that was what we were talking about.
Yeah.
It has been a couple years, yeah.
Okay. Very good. I hope you guys enjoyed that. So that's going to wrap up the show. That's going to be all of 136. Coming up next episode, we're going to have another guest. I guess he's going to be doing a trip report. Is my guess. He'll be in-house. And we will. That's all we're going to say for now.
Mm-hmm.
But if you like the show, well, thank you very much. Whatever platform you're listening to, whatever medium you're listening to, kindly leave us a review, a star, a rating. It helps us out a lot. In addition, if you'd like to support the show further, you can go to Patreon, which is on our leavingtodaypodcast.com site. Click on the logo, and it's self-explanatory there. Also on Instagram, you can do that at Leaving Today Podcast. We have a link tree on there. If you'd like to send us an email, which some of you guys sort of do, you guys can send it at info@leavingtodaypodcast.com. That's how you can get a hold of us. Udi, where can people find out more about you?
You can find me on my Instagram page, which would be Haxgolie, HAXGOALIE. And you can also find me on my other podcast show, The Mando Show, which, as we alluded to before, Joe is part of it, and I have my brother and my good friend Chad, our resident Mandalorian. We are 25% real Mandalorian.
Okay.
In our show. So we are covering currently the Disney Plus show, The Bad Batch.
Okay.
And having a good time talking trash.
Oh, good. Good. Kinda. Okay, well, that is going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for listening. It means everything to us. We love you.
Thank you.
Adventure is out there, and we will see you in the parks.
See you. So here, I'm
need
going
to
to tell
figure-
Mark. I'm going to tell Mark the plan here.
Oh, there's a plan.
Yeah.
Wait, which plan?
The one, because you're going to be on live.
My body's just stiff. Think of a banana.
Does it help? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Always does. Every time. Don't ask me why. Why are you throwing up? You trying to eat all your food before your sister does? Now you can eat that.
Gouda.
Well, hello.
Gouda. Come get your Gouda. We'll give it a bit.
Yeah, give it a second.
Okay. Woo! Good?
Thank you.
You're welcome. No bed sheets.
Why are you yelling at me?
Because I like yelling at you.
But you
Yeah.
make me hot. It's so close, I can feel it.
Kitty.
It's like a breath of fresh air.
Boy, was my face